Good morning.
Good morning
Well, unless you're watching this, good afternoon.
or good evening.
All right, or if you're laying in bed, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're watching this. Wow. Hope you can get some sleep and maybe we can help. I'm Brian Martin,
And I'm Jennifer Martin.
and our our broadcast is called Real Estate Love. And real estate love is important to us because we have spent a lot of time in our lives in helping real estate agents achieve their goals. And our affiliates also, from mortgage and insurance and lending and other areas as well. We've had a close relationship with a lot of people, and we have some wonderful tools and skills and talents to share with you to help your business grow. And so Jennifer and I, some months ago, decided that we would do this broadcast on a regular basis, and we would encourage people who are in our industry, the real estate industry, encourage them to strengthen their home, because home is the most important place in the world.
It is. And we do like to encourage people.
That's right. And we also want to help you build your wealth by building your business as well. So today we're going to talk about money. How does that sound to you?
Well, I like talking about money.
Yes. In our diagram, we know that that we use with you, the home diagram. I wonder if I had it right here. Yeah, I do. Hold on. Show it to you. In our home diagram, you can see that over here is the money. It's one of the pressures that are constantly being exerted onto your home. Your home is that circle there. It's balancing on that fulcrum. Well, the money pressure is one of the biggest pressures that you have. But it's not only one of the biggest pressures you have, it's also one of the biggest tools that you have in order for you to achieve financial freedom. Wouldn't you like to achieve financial freedom? How about you?
I would. And one of the things I love to say is that money is good for the good money does.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And money can do a lot of good for a lot of people.
You know, I didn't used to always believe that, Jennifer.
I know.
And early in my career, my first career is in ministry, and I'm still involved in ministry every day, every week. And you know, it was an honor to give up everything, kind of like a Saint Francis figure, and to live in poverty, or at least with as little as possible. It was an honor to do that. It's a gift to be simple. It's a gift to be free. And well, I don't hold on to that anymore. I found that the more resources that you have, and that doesn't mean that you have to that money is your God, but money is a fabulous tool for helping people. So a new goal of mine is to be a philanthropist. And you know, if you're a philanthropist, you can support a nonprofit corporation.
You can.
You can decide that you're going to pay for the executive director's salary, and you can help a nonprofit corporation do something really wonderful in the world. And so that idea that a simple life, a carefree life that didn't have a whole lot of dependency on money, simply didn't pan out. And I discovered anyway, that owning a business, generating income, having wealth was a fabulous way to make a difference in the world. Doesn't mean that you have to live in an ostentatious house or drive a fantastic car. It just means you have the resources to be able to help people. So money is important, like you said, for the good that money does.
I like that.
Yeah. So that money pressure can be an awful thing, or it can be something that's really, really a great tool for you. And we want to help you with your thinking about that. By the way, that former way of thinking that I had about money was rooted in my own upbringing. We were survivors, and in my family growing up. and we went from paycheck to paycheck, and there was constant financial pressure, and I know what that's like. But that survivor mentality is different than the philanthropist mentality. The philanthropist mentality says there's all this abundance that's available that we need to share with other people, and we need to figure out how we can do that the best way.
You know, Brian, I think one of the other things that impacts people is the fear of money. And when I say the fear, I mean the fear of I don't really want to look at how much I'm making. I don't want to really be aware of that, or how much is in my checking account, because it may not be enough. So if I just kind of close my eyes to it and just write checks or use my ATM card, maybe I'll be okay.
Yeah. You know, that fear is so powerful that it can stifle people, and it can control their thinking, and it can make you so that you're only thinking about this one thing, and that is survival. Survival is the most important thing. But you know, as you learn how to control your debt, and as you learn how to build your wealth, that fear of survival begins to release more and more, and you can open up your thought process to new and to different things, like owning a business.
That's right.
Like making your real estate career more than just selling houses, but it's a way for you to create wealth for your family and for the people around you also.
I think there were several things that really helped facilitate the way we changed our thought process about money. I think the Dave Ramsey course was instrumental.
But what we discovered about the Dave Ramsey course, Jennifer, was that we were already doing that.
We were.
What the Dave Ramsey course did for us was it kind of validated the good things that we were already doing.
Well, I think it also helped us to focus and maybe give a name to what we were doing.
And so, but let's go back to before Dave Ramsey,
okay,
when we would use the envelope system. That was a part of our survival mechanism.
I actually thought we started the envelope system. I really did. Because, I mean, we did that since we were married.
Uh-huh.
I was 17, you were 19, and we had our envelopes. And that was just when the money was gone in that envelope.
The money was gone.
The money was gone. Mm-hmm. That's right. And so that's how we survived.
I'd like to share with our audience today how that envelope system developed into having these multiple accounts, and how that worked for us, and how it developed into the depository account, the reserve account, and all these other accounts, and how we use that system to generate a way of financial freedom for us.
Well, I think it's actually a way to grow money.
So,
I say that.
And so,
grow money.
So we took that envelope method, which was really foundational for us. We took it and we developed it, and we made it something very, very special. So do you want to describe how we do that?
Yes, and I also want to say that it was part of learning when we came on to the. So in life, there's a series of opportunities for people to learn and to grow. Mm-hmm. And so I think that when we became part of Keller Williams, one of the things that they did is Keller Williams has an unbelievable model for money. And one of the things that they encourage is that you have a depository account. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people say, well, what's the difference between taking all of your money and putting it into a depository, your paychecks or your commission checks or whatever checks you're receiving? What's the difference of putting that into a depository or just putting that into my checking? And you know, there is a fundamental difference. Did you know that?
I did.
Mm-hmm. The difference is people who take their money and put it right into their checking account, and then maybe even they do transfer money into their savings, they still see all of the money in their checking account, and it gives them the freedom or the feeling
that they have money to spend.
Right.
Oh, I have $600 in my checking account. I can do this now.
That's right. But if you take your money and you put it into your depository account, and then you know what bills you have to pay, and you move your money out of your depository account into your checking account
As needed.
Only as needed, then what happens is that depository account starts to grow. And I have to tell you, for us, it grew slowly. And so it wasn't like it was an overnight, oh my gosh, look at how much money we have in the depository. But it was more oh, look at the end of the month, there's still money left in the depository account. And it started the snowball effect.
Started growing.
It did.
Well, and it's the exact same thing as when we did the envelope system, because you had a box. The box was your depository.
That's right.
And all the envelopes were the checking account, the savings account, the money that was going to go here, the money that was going to go there. We just took that idea and we just applied it to the banking system.
That's right. And now, I think our bank thinks it's funny how many accounts we have. But I name our accounts. You name our accounts. Together, we name our accounts. And so we have a depository account. We have a checking account. We have a tax account. We have a personal reserve account. We have, I know we have some other ones, but.
Yeah. So all those those are all bank accounts. And so we funnel our money into those specific areas.
All out of the depository.
Everything goes into the depository and then it's distributed. So since we're business owners, there's no we don't have tax taken out of every paycheck. Well, we do, because in our corporation we're classified as employees, and so that helps a little bit also. But we also have to make adjustments in our business account, and we have to pay for taxes also. And
Absolutely.
So that's paid quarterly, but we take money out all the time and put it into our tax account.
Well, with every commission check, we take and put money into the tax account for the business. So we have business accounts and we have personal accounts, and we do exactly the same thing with our personal as we do with our business. We have a depository for our business. We have a tax account for our business. We have a owner's reserve for our business. And so we're constantly putting money into that depository, and when it hits a certain point, able to transfer some of that into the owner's reserve, right?
So when it comes time to pay taxes, we're not surprised. A lot of agents, a lot of independent contractors, a lot of people who are business owners are surprised when the taxes come.
Well, and we take a big amount. I really believe that you need to take 40% out of every commission check and put it into the tax account. Right
now, people are going, holy cow, did she really just say 40% goes in?
I did. And I truly believe you need to do that, because that's also, if you can teach yourself to live on the 60 or less, that you'll actually be able to start growing your wealth. And so we put 40% into the tax account, and then after that quarterly is paid, if there's reserves left in that tax account, which I keep that at a certain minimum, we can transfer that into the owner's reserve. And that is then what also starts growing security in your business or in your home.
And what do you do with the owner's reserve?
Well, in business, that owner's reserve we're building to a certain point so that we can then have profit share for our team. And in the personal, that is for other investments, or it's for things that will help us grow our security for the future.
And also capital improvements, things that we want to do around the house.
Absolutely.
We can also do that.
That's right.
So that simplicity that we talked about earlier, it does carry over, because we do, even though we have a very, very comfortable lifestyle, we still live a frugal lifestyle.
We really do.
My car is 7 years old. Your car is,
Oh my gosh,
it's
2005, it's 13 years old.
13 years old. And so we're not out buying a new car every year. Even if there are tax benefits, we don't do that. And, uh, you know, we just kind of live a frugal lifestyle. You'll discover that a lot of wealthy people are not extravagant spenders, but they're great investors and they're great at controlling their money.
You know, the other thing that has helped also is that we look at our checking accounts or our bank accounts, not our checking, our bank accounts regularly. And that was a change for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yes, in the envelope system, you could go through it every day and see where your money was.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed a little foreign, though, to look at your bank accounts every day. And yet that's one of the things that we're learning to do, is to look at our bank accounts every day and know where we are in our growth or our wealth building process.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of a budget, Brian, I have liked taking on the term we're wealth building. So it's not, budgets sometimes sound kind of negative.
Okay, well, that's a great segue into how do we report or how do we watch what goes on with our finances?
Well, again, I think that um, you have to keep record of it, right?
And what kind of records do we use?
Well, we use a P&L.
What's a P&L?
Profit,
for those who don't know?
A profit and loss statement.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and we use a profit and loss statement and anything else?
Well, we also use a wealth building sheet
Mm-hmm.
that tells us what our income is, what our expenses are, and what our asset and liabilities are in a more simple form than just a P&L, than a profit and loss. Very similar to one, but just on a monthly basis.
So is a profit and loss statement, is that a difficult thing to put together or to use?
Well, not so much now. Your QuickBooks can do that for you, or your CPA can do that for you on a monthly basis, or you can do it yourself.
So what we've discovered about agents and our affiliates is that a lot of them don't have even a budget or a profit and loss statement. And they're almost blindly just cruising through their business life, having some figures maybe that are in their head or something that are written down somewhere, or just monitoring what's happening in their one checking account. And that is not going to lead to wealth building.
It isn't. And I think you really have to give more attention to it. And that's where getting over the fear.
The fear of it. So Jennifer and I run a sales team also, and we actually teach our team members about the profit and loss statement and how to use it. And we have an open book system with our team and in our business also, so that everybody can see and everybody knows what's going on. And that transparency and the openness is a fabulous way for us to teach people how to control their income and their expenses and to see what's going on in a profit and loss statement.
Well, I always think it's a little bit safer to look at somebody else's than your own.
It does give you great ideas. And then what we've discovered is that when agents and other people see a profit and loss statement and begin to become familiar with it, it takes away a lot of the fear that they have and a lot of concerns that they have, and they can actually realize what a fabulous tool this is.
Do you remember our client who has, they call it a wealth building board, but it was just a whiteboard, and every week they would update it, some parts of it. So every week they would update what was in all of their bank accounts. And then monthly they would update the liabilities. So if they had a car payment or if they had a house payment, and how much became off the amount that they owed, and how much that liability had now translated into an asset also.
Right.
There's
And
correlation
and
there.
they kept that whiteboard in a place where they could see it all the time.
All the time.
And so they were constantly looking at their finances. And the greatest problem for people to control their finances is the fear. But the greatest freedom that there is knowing your numbers, just knowing what's going in, what's coming out, what's expected to be coming in, and tracking your numbers.
Well, it also gives you the ability to become creative, because as you're looking at it on a daily basis, and I interviewed them, and as they were watching it, it gave them the freedom to invest in more properties. So they're right now looking at 2 more properties, and I believe they already had 7. And so now they're looking at 2 more. And these are retired people. I mean, they're not people who are living on a massive amount of income.
Right. Well, I thought at the last week was the second Woman Up conference for the California Association of Realtors, and what was fascinating to me was to hear here were these high, powerful women, executives in many brands that were there, and huge brands, and I was so surprised that one of the leaders of one of the largest companies bought their first home recently.
This year,
after 30 years of being in business.
Something like that, yeah.
And a lot of agents, I think the number is over 30% of agents don't even own a home.
Well, and I have to tell you, home is where you can start really thinking about and building your wealth.
And I think that by keeping track of your money, by using a profit and loss statement, or even having a budget, just knowing what's coming in, what's going out, and monitoring it on a regular basis can give you incredible freedom. It helps you to establish goals that you can achieve. You know, we used to always say, gee, all we have to do is sell another house, and we can afford that.
That's right.
And that's great. That's great incentive for helping you to grow your business. So this money part has a fantastic potential for you. Instead of being a horrible burden around your neck that's dragging you down as you're trying to figure out how you're going to make money last for the month, not even begin to think about retirement, or we don't want to think about retirement anyway,
or giving,
or being able to have enough money for your senior years. All of that is possible, and it can happen much faster than you can even begin to imagine. And you can change from just going from hand to mouth to being a business owner and an investor.
Well, and I want to go back to what I kind of threw in there was giving. And I think as you're able to look at instead of your budget, your wealth building form, your wealth building formula, you can actually then see the ability to give. And I think being able to give is one of the greatest things to be able to do. You know, when I hear of a need, or you hear of a need, and you are able to take money out of your pocket and just hand it to someone and know that you're going to be okay, it's nice.
It's not only nice, it's what we're made to do. We're made to help other people. And I believe that helping other people is actually loving them.
It is. And it's also helping to build people's ability to push forward, because when they're in that mode where they can't even think about, do I have enough gas to get across town, that thought controls everything they do. And so to be able to say, here's money to get across town, just takes a little bit of that pressure off, even if it's momentarily, to help them be creative and to think about how they're going to continue on.
If you had enough money, how would you give it? That's a great question, isn't it?
That's a really great
That's a
question.
great question. All right, so we're going to kind of wrap up things now. And I'm Brian Martin.
And I'm Jennifer Martin.
And we have this wonderful video blog called Real Estate Love. And we would like you to like it. And we'd love to have you like and make our page a favorite. And if you would also, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you just go ahead and like us, and if you'd subscribe to Real Estate Love, that would be really beautiful and help us. There are 1.2, 1.3 million realtors in the United States. And our vision and our goal is to help them strengthen their homes and to build their wealth, to build their business. And we know that there's a lot of agents out there who just need the inspiration, the encouragement, the hope, the tools that we have used and that we can provide. They need that just to move forward in their business.
Maybe the other thing that we can provide is just a little spark and a change in their mindset, where instead of looking at money as a negative, being able to look at money as the ability to change lives. And that's what I think is also part of what we want to do is just change that whole thought process.
Yes, managing money is managing your thoughts about money. It's controlling your thoughts about money. And everybody can manage money better.
Well, we're learning.
We're learning.
We're learning.
Yeah,
we're not there, and we're just going to continue to grow.
That's right, all the time. Mm-hmm. All right, so thank you so much for being with us today. Remember, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I'm anxious to get to work, so we can sell another house.
Oh, I know you are.
And we will look forward to seeing you at our next episode of Real Estate Love. Have a great day.